up, you YouTubers? It's HarpyHunter89, and the voices in my head coming at you from the Duelist Den. And for today's video, I'm going to be doing an updated ban list prediction. Now, I did one of these a couple weeks back while Worlds were going on, and with Code of the Duelist and the Link Strike Structure deck finally out, I decided to go ahead and do a revised version of it, just to, you know, go in correlation with some of the new cards and archetypes that are coming into the TCG here pretty soon. Now, another thing I'm doing is, you know, I'm testing a new app with this video that one of my friends linked to me. It actually lets me have, you know, a little window up in the top of my screen there. It's up in the top right corner of my screen. It might be left side to you guys. I don't fucking know. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this then. First off, of course, you know, is Max C going to banned status. Now, there's a lot of contention about this. Some people think that it might go back up to 3, just, you know, kind of make it, you know, where, you know, easier to access. I honestly think it's going to get banned outright. I would love to see it back at 3, but it's inevitable this card is going to get hit. I mean, it's gone on through the steps. So it went to semi-limit, then limited, and now it's at, or it's where it's currently at. It's the next step that, you know, it's inevitable. Everybody knows it's going to happen whether they want to admit to it or not. Next card getting banned is Zodiac Whiptail. Now, Whiptail is a big problem. It's sort of a Kalu or Honest effect for Zodiacs, and we all know that Zodiacs are going to get nerfed on this next ban list. It's obviously going to happen based on how well they dominated at Worlds. Things, you know, they still continue to dominate, and honestly, if they go into, you know, the Link format, or sorry, not Link format, because it's not actually a format, the Link era going into it, they will still keep dominating, and Konami doesn't want that to happen. Konami wants to push their new product, their new archetypes, their new sets, and that's not going to happen if Zodiacs are still the dominating deck. So Whiptail getting hit is, you know, just a clear choice because, you know, like I said, it does have an Honest / Kalut type effect, and the effect that banishes a monster, you know, there's tons of monsters that do that, but it's going to get hit because you can use its effect during either player's turn, you know, to attach it to a Zodiac monster. So that's pretty much why it's going to get hit. Next up, we of course have Zodiac Broadbull. Now, Broadbull is the Zodiac that lets you detach material from this card to add a Beast Warrior type monster, then be normal summon a set from your deck to your hand. So it's pretty much allows you to search out any of your Zodiacs from your deck. And if you want to nerf Zodiacs, you're going to have to go after the Searcher as well, because even if you nerf all their best monsters, if they still have the Searcher, they can still go into explosive plays. The last Zodiac that I think is going to get hit for complete ban status is, of course, Trident. Merely because this is the quote-unquote best of the Zodiacs. It is the Zodiac that every player ends, or that every Zodiac player ends their turn with, and just completely getting rid of the deck's main boss monster is definitely something Konami was going to want to do if they want to completely nerf Zodiacs. Going up to limited cards that I think should be limited. First up is, of course, Ratpier. Now, yes, the majority of the shit is Zoo cards. Now, Ratpier's effect to was detached from a Zodiac monster, you can search a Ratpier from your deck to your hand. Now, if you can only run one Ratpier, well, then Ratpier's effect is completely useless. So there really wouldn't be a point in running it in a Zodiac deck other than, you know, to gain extra material onto your Zodiac, which is really not such a good idea either because it has 0 attack and it won't boost your Zodiac's attack at all. The next limited Zodiac should be Tiger Mortar. Now, Tiger Mortar is the one that lets you target an Xyz monster you control in a Zodiac in your graveyard and attach that Zodiac to that Xyz monster. This card is broken as hell, but I don't think it deserves to be banned outright. So bumping this down to 1, it would slow the deck down a whole hell of a lot, but it just doesn't need to be banned outright in my opinion. Next up, we of course are going to go into the limited cards, and the first one I think should be Masterpiece, the True Draco Slaying King. Now, this is the main boss monster for True King, True Dracos. Merely because, you know, it does crazy shit. You know, it has a nice little body, a nice little ass on it. But this is the go-to True King that you want out on the field. And it's really what most of the True King decks try to get to in their place. Now, True Kings can survive without this card, but I think limiting it would be a lot better of an idea, merely because True Kings weren't represented nearly as much as Zodiacs were during Worlds and in most builds. Yeah, you do have a good portion of True King cards in decks, but even the True King variants usually run a Zodiac engine as well, which is why I think Zodiac needs to get hit more than True Kings. Moving right along, the next limited card, I think, should be True King of All Calamities. Now, YGO Pro only has the OCG version of this card, but this is True King of All Calamities. And what makes True King of All Calamities so dangerous is that A, you can use this effect during either player's turn, and B, it shuts your opponent down from pretty much doing anything. It's pretty much skill drain on steroids with fucking legs. That's really all it is, you know? The next limited card, or a card that I think should make limited status, is of course Totally Awesome. Now, while Paleozoic Frogs aren't, you know, or weren't represented as much as people would have liked during Worlds, or, you know, any major tournament really, they are one of the few decks that can go toe-to-toe with both Zodiacs and True Dracos. And even though they're not as popular, they can run neck-to-neck. And Paleozoic Frogs, you know, they've beaten Pure Zoo in several major events, you know, they beat zoos all the fucking time, so I definitely think Totally needs to go to 1. Next up is Exciton Knight, and I actually did a whole video about this card a few weeks back, but based on the fact that, you know, it did just get a reprint, I think that it is very possible this card could go up to limited status. Do I want it at limited status? Hell no, it's too fucking broken. But it is possible that Konami could put it limited to sort of boost the sales for the Battles of Legend packs. Now, like I said, you know, I did a whole fucking video over this. If you want to see it, I will try to get that linked in the description box as well. Now we move on to semi-limits. First off is Zodiac Mirage. Now, Mirage is a pretty decent card. It lets you target one card you control, destroy it to special summon a Zodiac from your deck. And if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can attach to Zodiac you control as a material. Now, this card is a searcher, but it's not, you know, it's a little slow to me, because first, you know, you have to activate it, then, you know, your opponent can, you know, Twin Twister it or something like that upon its activation. So this card is a little bit slow to use, and I just don't think that it should be hit down to 1, or it definitely doesn't need to be banned. It's not that broken. But I think it's too broken to be at 3, but not broken enough to be at 1, you know? That's just how I feel about Zodiac Mirage. Next up is Fishboard Blaster. And this card is currently in banned state, but with the advent of the link mechanic, synchro decks are going to be slowed way the hell down, you know? And I just don't think it needs to be banned anymore, because, you know, synchros, Z's, fusions, they're all getting nerfed with the link mechanic, you know? And personally, I mean, it's like I said, I mean, you don't need this banned because of the link monsters now. While we're on that topic, the next card that I think could go to semi-limit is, of course, Janak Birdman. Again, same reason as Fishboard Blaster. Both of these cards made for some crazy synchro plays back in their prime. And with the synchros being nerfed, it just doesn't need to be on limited status. Next up, we have Neospacian Grand Mole. I think is a possibility that could go up to semi-limit status. And the reason I say this, and I feel that this card probably should have gone up to semi-limit with the advent of the Pendulum monsters. Merely because, you know, being able to bounce this one monster that you have to either attack into or get attacked by, it's really just too slow. And you gotta think, when Pendulums were at their peak, you had things like Magispector, the Magispector decks, they ran Magispector Unicorn. Pretty much any Pendulum deck out there, you know, the best ones, they ran a Magispector Unicorn in it. And Magispector Unicorn was just so much better because you could use the effect during either player's turn and you could just Pendulum summon it back to the field. So, Grand Mole, I mean, it's way too slow to be, you know, on the limited list. It's really not needed, to be honest with you. Next up is, of course, Preparation of Rites. Now, this card, the reason I think it could go back up to semi-limit is because we just got a TCG exclusive archetype. I was just thinking of the name of that archetype, but I can't remember. Vendrus, I think is what it is. Vendrus. I know it starts with a V. But Vendrus is a ritual-based archetype, and it is a TCG exclusive coming out in Code of the Duelist. So Konami was definitely going to want to push, you know, that TCG exclusive archetype, and giving us preparation of rights at 2 or possibly even 3. That is a very real possibility, going back up to 3 just to, you know, push that Vendra archetype. It is a very real possibility, you know, this card could get bumped up to 2. At the very least 2, you know, I would like to see it at 3 for those Vendra players, you know, more power to you, but I honestly don't think it's going to go past 2. Now, I've only got 2 unlimited cards. First up is, of course, you know, Debris Dragon. Again, you know, this card made for some real easy rank 4 plays if you get getting it out on the field and resolving it. But in order to resolve the field, you know, you have to have a monster in your graveyard with 500 or less attack. Now, there are decks that, you know, meet this requirement. But there aren't really a lot of them that are running monsters with 500 or less attack. Now, yeah, Zodiacs could abuse Debris Dragon badly, but you also have things. Zodiacs, if they were going to abuse Debris Dragon, they would already be doing it with it at 2. So I don't think Debris Dragon is going to make a big difference if it goes from 2 to 3, to be honest. And even if you use it for Synchro or Disease plays, I mean, you still have, you know, the link mechanic in play where, you know, it's not going to be as, you know, going into crazy fucking plays like it used to. The last card I think could go from 2 to 3, and I know I'm going to get a lot of shit about this, is Honest. And the reason I say this is because you have Trick Stars, which are all light attributes, so that's coming out, you know, here in the next couple sets. And Konami is definitely going to want to push, you know, the set that Trick Stars come out with. And personally, I've been testing Trick Stars. They are a fucking wickedly amazing deck. They can just deal a fuck ton of burn damage. They are the new Chain Burn. That is what Trick Stars are. They are the new Chain Burn. So Trick Stars are really good, so giving them an Honest at 3 will be really great, I think, in my opinion. And I'm not sure, I think World Chalice might be light. I don't know, I haven't really done much research into World Chalice. But I know, you know, they could have some more, you know, light attribute archetypes coming out that they might want to push too. So, but definitely Trick Stars. Trick Stars, I think, is going to be at least a tier 2 deck when they are released with their full complement of cards. So definitely, you know, giving them Honest would make the deck just a great fucking deck. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. I would love to hear what your guys' opinions on what could be banned, unbanned, limited, semi-limited, whatever. You know, I'd love to hear your comments about that in the comment section below. But anyway, as always, you guys, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, or like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your comments in the section below. But until next time, this is Harpier89 and the voices in my head. Just wanted to say that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not just a game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is life.